Hi, my name is Kiron Chatterjee and I'm a Senior Lecturer and Course Leader for the MSc in Transport Planning at the University of the West of England. The aim of our course is to equip our students to meet the challenges of a fast-changing world and to plan and develop transport systems that serve the needs of all members of society. Our course takes a uniquely multidisciplinary approach in order to teach transport planning. For example, we learn from psychology on how to change travel behaviour. We learn from economics on how to assess the value for money of transport projects, and we learn from geography on how to map transport conditions as they vary across a study area. Instead of me saying more, here are some of our students that have taken the course to tell you about their experiences.
My name's Amy. My first degree was in human geography with tourism management at the University of Gloucestershire. Once I graduated from there, I achieved a position at Gloucestershire County Council as a Sustainable Transport Advisor. Realising that perhaps I wanted to learn a bit more about transport and sustainability, I decided to apply to UE to take the MSc in Transport Planning to kind of broaden my existing knowledge, learn some new things and also gain a qualification at the same time.
My name's Lyon. I did my first degree at Bristol University in economics. I've chosen this course at the University of the West of England because I feel that it places transport in a much wider context than many courses. This covers a wide range of topics which I think will equip me for the future much better than many other courses.
My name is Syed. I'm from Bangladesh and I studied urban and rural planning in Lyon University in Bangladesh. And I worked after my degree, I worked in a development organization in a project where I dealt with the climate change adaptation issues in southwest part of the country in Bangladesh. And while I was working there, I felt the urge to do higher studies, and then I came over to England.
I think I specifically came to UE because I was interested in the relationship between transport and society. I'd looked at a number of other course providers and a lot of them had a more traditional engineering type background, which I felt was also important to get a full appreciation of the field. But particularly as a cultural geographer, I was interested in how transport shapes society and how society could potentially shape transport. So looking at the course content here, it seemed to give a good balance of the engineering side of things, but also enabled me to utilise my social science perspective when approaching sort of transport questions.
I found the teaching really good in terms of the fact that all the lecturers are actively researching, which I found has given them a passion for what they teach. And there's also been some really valuable guest lecturers coming in who, from the professional field, who are leaders in their field, which I've also found really valuable, having people who are actively practicing.
We've got a number of experts here, which is a great advantage if you've got a specific area of interest that you want to pursue. There's a lot of experience in CTS and a broad range of different projects from engineering to the social sciences.
Few of the faculties we have in transport planning, they are very expert in their particular field, and lots of faculty members are working on the national policies and international policies as well, and they made a very good contribution in terms of the policy development and in the related industry as well.
Whenever I've needed support, it's always been there. I found that the support structure at UE has been really good. Lecturers are always willing to help. That's going beyond the sort of office hours published. They're always very quick to respond to emails. I found this has been very helpful for me I've got something on my mind to be able to have these matters resolved nice and quickly.
The contacts that I made, the course tends to attract a diverse range of students, so people from the public sector, the private sector, people that have got degrees in music, degrees in geography, degrees in engineering, very broad sort of academic backgrounds, but I found that coming together from all these different disciplines and sharing ideas and talking about transport problems has really sort of broadened my own knowledge, and I've still got those contacts and I'm still in contact with the people that I met on the course, so that's really important.
Before I came over to England, I talked to several friends who were already in England and doing studies and doing different work in different organizations in different industries. And a few of them were from EWE actually. And even though they are not in transport planning or not in built environment school, but all of them gave me very good feedback regarding the quality of education in EWE. and that's why I came over to England. I also came over to Bristol to study at the EWE.
Yeah, coming back to Bristol from Aberystwyth, I really value being in such a busy city. And as a keen cyclist, I've really valued being able to commute with ease to UE. It's also something we've been learning about during the course, as it's quite a focus of this Masters is around active travel and more sustainable modes. And I found that this has all been really helped by being able to practice this.
Bristol is a lovely city. It's Avon and Somerset, and even though I didn't know anything about it, but after I came over here, the city I explored is absolutely brilliant, and I call Bristol city as a second home of mine. It's still, even though I'm not living in Bristol anymore, but whenever I get the time, I took the liberty to come over to Bristol just for a day out or for a night out.
I've travelled a lot and I've been to a lot of different countries, and I spent time in Australia, in the States, and I think Bristol is the best city. I mean, I did get a transfer down to London for a bit with work, but I just wanted to come back to Bristol because culturally it's amazing. It's got a really unique vibe. I don't think there's a better city to study in, so I think this is a major factor in looking at where you're going to study. I think Bristol is a major draw for a lot of people. It's a very student-based city. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of resources here. We're still quite close to London, so you can go back down to the capital if you need to, or we can go up north. It's sort of slap bang in the middle, not too far from the beach. So yeah, it's a great place to live.
I'm Steve Melia. I teach on 3 of the modules of this course, and my research interests are particularly focused on the relationship between transport and spatial planning. I've spent some time studying best practice in European cities, and one of the things that I do on this course is to take a field trip to Lyon to study good practice in public transport in particular and its integration with spatial planning.
I'm Olivier, I'm from Lyon. I've been studying in Bristol at UWE, the MSc Transport Planning, planning transport, just to see how it works in the UK from a planning transport point of view. So it's been a really good year, and it was interesting to see from an academic point of view my hometown of Lyon on this field trip today, or Lyon, and yeah, it's been really good with all my British friends to see with their own eyes the view they got on my city.
Before I complete my dissertation, I was very, very lucky to get to sign a contract for a job in one of the best consulting firm in the whole world, Halco Group Limited actually, and I'm working there since 2008. Before I submit my dissertation, and I am very, very lucky that in this economic climate, I was very lucky to get a job, and I think one of the reasons I had the opportunity to work in that organization because I had the values, or I have the understanding of transport issues from while I was studying MSc Transport Planning at EWE.
Originally when I started, I was working in sustainable transport, but I was looking at travel plans and travel planning, which is a really important of transport management, but a very small section of it. So it's enabled me to broaden sort of my existing knowledge and to get a wider perspective. Obviously then I left that job because I was on this course. I was able to get a position as a consultant, which again advanced my career further. I started to take on more sort of transport related minor project management, broadened my sort of skill set in that sense. And then finally, yeah, as I say, I achieved a PhD scholarship. So again, I made another move to go from transport consultancy into research. So effectively, it's been a great foundation to kind of give me that holistic sort of mix of looking at transport issues from a local authority perspective on the ground, from a consultancy perspective, and now I'm looking at them through the eyes of a researcher. So it's been a fantastic opportunity really, and probably has been quite transformative in developing my career.
I would highly recommend the course to anyone who is living in the UK or abroad because this course will give you the right direction to what you have to deal with in the real world. A couple of my friends, they already passed out from this course actually after I joined in this course, and one of them did really well. He managed to score merit in this course, and another one, he also did a very good result in this course.
If one of my friends were to ask me, I would heartily recommend this course.